Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about one of the coolest browser API that can make your websites faster and smarter. That is the intersection observer API. It is the topic which is being asked in many interviews. So let's talk about it. So, but normally when you want to know the visibility of any element on the screen, whether the element is visible on the screen or not, you might think to use scroll event, but scroll events are very expensive and they fire way too much. If not debounced or throttled, they may even cause jank issues or sluggishness in your website, which can, hurt the performance. And also, while using the scroll event, we need to calculate the visibility manually. So manually, we are going to, check the current position of the element and the scrolled height, and then we need to do the some maths, and based on that we are going to calculate whether the element is visible on the screen. But here, that's why the intersection observer API comes in the picture, because there are so many things which we are doing, but we don't need to do. So intersection observer API is automatically optimized by the browser engine, and we are going to it provides us a object which can be used to observe any element. Okay, let's say there is one box which I want to observe. Let's say I want to get it get I want to get notified when the that box is in the viewport or is out of the viewport. Let's say the box comes into the viewport, we are going to get notified. When box is going out of the viewport, we are going to get notified. So this is what intersection observer API do. So we don't need to do anything manually. So that means less code, better performance, and there are multiple use cases of this intersection observer API. One of the use case can be lazy loading the images. So we are going to load the images when they are about to enter the viewport. Okay, so that's one thing which can improve the performance, right? Because we are not going to load all the images on the first load. When they are about to enter the viewport, just load them. And then there is another use case, the infinite scrolling, which is very famous nowadays because we are not doing pagination in modern apps. So there is infinite scrolling which is happening. So infinite scrolling is on the first load we are going to load the 10 cards, and when user scrolls to the bottom, then we are going to load another 10 cards, and then user again goes to the bottom, then all again we are going to load the 10 cards until we reach till the end. So this is infinite scrolling. On one page itself we are going to show everything, but with the with the help of intersection observer API, we are not going to load everything on the initial load, and based on the whenever user scrolls to the bottom, so we'll check if the user is going to the bottom I mean with the help of intersection observer API. And then there is another use case which is animations on the scroll. So whenever any section enters in the viewport, we can trigger any CSS animation. So today we are going to learn about everything in detail about the intersection observer API. So yeah, let's deep dive into the code right now, because what's the better way to understand than coding itself? So yeah, and let me refresh the local host. As you can see, if I go to the bottom, you can see there is one box, but there is the text which is written scroll mode. So this is based on this visibility. Currently it is false. I marked it as false. If I make it as true, now you can see the styling changed and the text also get changed, which is I am visible now. So currently this is I'm doing manually, but I need to change it whenever this box comes into the viewport. Then only I need to make the uh, then only I need to change the text and CSS of this box. So we are going to observe this box, and whenever intersection observer API tells us that it's in to the viewport, then only we are going to change its state. So to do that, we are going to make use of set state. For visibility of this element, we are going to use state hook from the React. At first, my visibility is false, so whenever it enters the viewport, we are going to make it visible. So to make use of intersection observer API, which is web API, I need to make use of use effect because web APIs, I'm going to make use of side effects into this use effect. So let's create a intersection observer API object. So this, this constructor accept two arguments. One is the callback function, which will be called whenever there is any change in the visibility. Let's say uh, my box comes into the viewport, then intersection observer API will call this callback. And then when it comes out of the viewport, then again it is going to call this object. Okay. The second argument we'll talk about in a minute. So this returns a object which has functions, to observe the element, whichever element we want to check or observe. And in the cleanup function, also we will need to disconnect the, you know, observer, because otherwise it will keep observing the element when it is not even on the page or unmounted. So this observe function will accept the element which we want to observe. To pass into the element, I need to create a ref. I will create a ref using use ref hook from React, and the box I want to observe. So I will pass the reference. I'll pass the reference here, and while observing it, I need to pass the current value, which will contain this HTML element, this div. So it will observe this HTML element, and let's keep the track of this entry. So let me check entry. Okay. So we are observing the element. Let's see. Uh, okay. On the first refresh, if we see that um, callback function gets called and it is printed the entry. Let's see what's in. It is an array. Okay. It is currently having one value. The target is our div box, whichever target we provided. There is intersecting property which is false, so it is not intersecting, it is not visible on the in the viewport. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so currently it is an array, and it is only having one value. So currently we are only observing one element, so it is going to return us only the one value. There is an option to provide, the multiple elements which can get observed here, and then it will provide us the number of elements we are observing. That each element will be into this array, and there will be different. Will loop over this entry, and then we are going to get, if the element is visible on the screen, the specific element. So currently it is going to return the one entry itself. So we are going to take the first entry itself and check if it is visible or not. Okay, is intersecting. So let's say set is visible, entry is intersecting. Okay, so let's see, let's go now. If intersecting becomes true, then we are going to make it visible. So let's refresh it. Currently entry is false, so it is not visible. Let's scroll. Okay. So whenever this box comes into the view, it becomes true. Whenever it goes out of the viewport, it becomes false. Okay, you can see. So this is the intersection observer API. There are many things which we can do. So let's talk about you know, the second method, second argument, which is for the intersection observer. There are multiple options in this. There is one option is threshold. which will take the value from 0 to 1. Let's do it, provide it zero point 0.5. So if we are providing zero point 0.5, it will say if the 50% of the box is visible in the viewport. Okay. If 50% of the object, that box or that element which we are observing is visible in the viewport, then only it is going to get fired this callback, going to call this callback. Let's see the value. Currently it is false. If we go down below, you can see the box, but entry is not getting called because it is no it haven't reached the 50%. So let's go below. Oh, okay, now it reaches the 50% and then it is firing this entry as true. So this is the meaning of threshold. By default it is 0. Whenever the element is visible, then only it will get fired. Then other element is other thing, let me remove this. Other thing is root margin. Currently, so by default root is viewport, and root margin we can provide 100 pixel. Let's say 100 pixel I have provided. This is margin, so this will accept 4 values: the top, bottom, right, left. So currently I'm providing 100 pixel for all of them. So let's see. Let's refresh it. Currently it is false. Let's move to the okay. So the the box is not visible in the screen, but it is the entry is coming as true because we have provided the margin itself as 100 pixel. So our box has been expanded. So the box, then another 100 pixel over it, and whenever this comes into the view, then it fires this callback. So if we provide the negative 100 pixel, so it will shrink the box. So let's say if I have provided the minus 100 pixel, now you can see it has shrink the box. That's why, but the box is visible, but the root margin we have provided 100 pixel, so it goes down below minus 100 pixel. So now it gets fired after minus 100 pixel gets over. So this is the meaning of root margin. And the root element, we have option to provide any HTML element here, but 99% of the time you are not going to use it. It is being used in some of the cases, in the chat window, like on the WhatsApp. If we are on the WhatsApp and chatting with a person, let's say, and then I scroll to the top of our chat. Okay. Uh, so the user sends us the message. So the message the someone sends, it is not in the viewport because I have scrolled to the viewport view top. So the message, whoever sends it, it is not in the viewport. But still they will get notified that the message has been read and the blue tick will be there on the message, because they are tracking uh, with the observer API, and they have provided the root as the scrolling container, not as the default the viewport, but the scrolling container where we are checking the message there. So this is done. The so anything left in the intersection observer API? Nothing left from my side because this is the this is all. So yeah, this is all from my side. Let me know if you like it, and please like, share, and subscribe our channel. So yeah, let's go.